So there have been studies recently on people who are asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic and whether they could transmit the coronavirus to others. One particularly important study coming out of Singapore yesterday. Our health department, our healthcare leadership have looked at these studies. There's been several in the last week or so, and have come to a conclusion that it's time to advise New Yorkers to do something different. And I want to emphasize, what I'm about to tell you is very, very important, but it does not in any way change the basic guidance that you've received now over many weeks. The most important things are still the basic hygiene, covering your mouth when you cough and sneeze, wash your hands a lot, use hand sanitizer. Still, that's the frontline way to protect yourself. The social distancing, that's the way to protect yourself and everyone around you, and that must be observed no matter what. And we've obviously put shelter in place in New York, and we have strong enforcement through the NYPD and other agencies, and we're even now at the point of fining people who do not abide by social distancing. So all of that is just as important as it was before. But now we're adding a new important point. We're advising New Yorkers to wear a face covering when you go outside and will be near other people. So let's be clear. This is a face covering. Again, we'll talk about the details in a moment, but it could be a scarf. It could be something you create yourself at home. It could be a bandana. It does not need to be a professional surgical mask. In fact, we don't want you to use the kinds of masks that our first responders need, that our healthcare workers need. Don't use those. I can't be clearer. Leave those alone. Leave those to the people who need them the most, who are saving lives. But you can create a face covering with anything you have at home right now, any piece of cloth, and that will give the protection to others. And I want to emphasize this. I think there's been, a certain amount of misunderstanding, and we're all dealing with so much information and so many things that are kind of tough to understand and confusing. The reason for this guidance is because the studies are showing that some asymptomatic people, some pre-symptomatic people appear to actually be transmitting this disease. We don't have perfect evidence. It doesn't conform with what the initial information showed us weeks ago, but it does seem to be more and more evident. What that means is when you put on that face covering, you're protecting everyone else. You're making sure that, you don't inadvertently, if you happen to have this disease, and you may not even know it, you don't end up giving it to someone else. Now remember, with community spread, with the projections we've told you, over half of New Yorkers will contract this disease from everything we know. It means that a lot of people are out there right this minute, don't even know they have it. We want to make sure that anyone who doesn't have to get it doesn't get it. So a face covering is just a simple way to protect other people and to reduce the speed of that community spread and hopefully keep a number of people from being affected who don't have to be affected.